Everything we think we know about physics falls apart at the end of the universe. Things get strange, time stretches, black holes eat entire galaxies, and new laws seem to take over. But what happens when the universe itself starts to die? Let's dive into the weird, mind-bending physics of the end of everything. The universe is expanding, we know that. But what happens when it keeps increasing? Forever. Eventually things get wild. Stars burn out, galaxies drift apart, and even the very fabric of reality begins to warp. In this video, we're going to explore the bizarre physics of the universe's final days. From black holes and dark energy to the ultimate fate of space and time itself, we'll uncover the strange, almost unimaginable future that awaits our universe. Right now, we live in what scientists call the stelliferous era. It's a fancy way of saying we're in the age of stars, where galaxies are full of shining suns and life, as we know it, is possible. But this era isn't going to last forever. It's already coming to an end, slowly but surely. As stars run out of fuel and stop shining, the universe is growing colder and darker. The big challenge here? Everything we understand about physics, everything that governs how the universe works, will start to break down as we approach the universe's end. Stars won't be there to light up the night sky, and galaxies will drift so far apart that we won't even be able to see them anymore. Gravity, dark energy, black holes, these forces will dominate, and weird stuff starts happening. So, how do we even get to that point? Let's break it down step by step, starting with something called the heat death. The universe has been expanding ever since the Big Bang, but it's not slowing down, it's speeding up. That's thanks to something called dark energy, a mysterious force that's pushing galaxies apart faster and faster. As dark energy keeps doing its thing, galaxies will move farther and farther away from each other, and the stars within them will burn out one by one. At some point, we reach a future where no new stars are forming. We call this period the degenerate era. Without stars, space becomes a cold, empty place. Black holes will gobble up whatever's left. Gas clouds, dead stars, even entire solar systems. These monsters of gravity, these black holes, will slowly dominate everything. But even black holes won't last forever, and that's where things start to get weird. Imagine a universe with no light, just the dark, massive forms of black holes drifting in space. Over time though, black holes themselves will start to evaporate. This happens because of something called Hawking radiation, a theory proposed by Stephen Hawking. Black holes slowly leak tiny amounts of energy until, after billions and billions of years, they just disappear. Picture this. In the far future, you won't see galaxies, stars, or even planets. The universe will be filled with nothing but black holes. And then, eventually, not even those. So what comes next? When all the black holes have evaporated, we enter the big freeze. This is where the universe gets truly strange. At this point, there's no heat, no light, just a dark, empty void. The temperature of the universe will drop to nearly absolute zero. All matter, all energy, will be spread so thin that nothing can interact with anything else. Particles will still exist, but they will be so far apart that the universe will effectively be a massive, lifeless void. But here's the thing. Time doesn't just stop when the universe is empty, it keeps going. And this leads us to one of the weirdest parts of the universe's fate, quantum weirdness. Even in the coldest, most desolate stretches of space, weird things can still happen. At the quantum level, the tiniest scale of reality, there's always a little bit of unpredictability. Scientists call these quantum fluctuations. Even in the emptiest part of space, particles can pop into existence, out of nowhere, for just a fraction of a second before disappearing again. Over unimaginable periods, think trillions upon trillions of years, these fluctuations could give rise to something bizarre, like a new universe. Or more strangely, a Boltzmann brain, a fully formed consciousness that just randomly appears in the empty void. Yeah, it's as weird as it sounds, and it's a thought experiment that physicists have been toying with for years. In the endless void of the far future, could random events give birth to conscious entities? Now here's the real kicker. No one knows for sure how the universe will truly end. We have theories, like the Big Freeze, Big Rip, or even a Big Crunch, but the truth is, the end of the universe is one of the biggest mysteries in science. Let's talk about the Big Rip for a moment. This is another theory that could take us down a very different path. According to this idea, dark energy doesn't just push galaxies apart, it keeps getting stronger. Over time, it could grow so powerful that it tears galaxies apart, then stars, and then even atoms themselves. In the Big Rip scenario, the universe would be ripped apart, leaving nothing behind. It's terrifying to think about, but it's also incredibly fascinating. These cosmic forces are so beyond anything we experience in our daily lives that they almost seem like science fiction. Yet, they're based on the same physical laws that govern our world right now. So, what's the takeaway here? The universe is not static. It's constantly changing, evolving, and ultimately heading toward its inevitable end. Whether it's a big freeze, big rip, or something else entirely, we know that things are going to get very, very weird. The physics we take for granted today, gravity, light, time itself, will all break down in ways we're just starting to understand. In a way, thinking about the end of the universe helps us appreciate the time we're living in now. Right now, stars are still burning, galaxies are still forming, and the universe is full of life and energy. But it won't always be this way. One day, the lights will go out for good, and in that cold, empty future, the universe will be a very different place. If you want to explore more about the mysteries of space, make sure to check out the links in the description.